See that whole thing where I decided to wait 25 minutes and schedule a live stream worked out so well. I have 0 people on the live stream, but that's okay. Um, Today's a good day for many reasons. Chelsea won this morning, 3-2 against Arsenal. Sounders beat LA Galaxy. I don't even catch the score of that. My kids are watching the original X-Men movie, which they've never seen before. And I went to a 25-cent comic book sale. So I've got a massive haul. This is 3 or 4 different stores over last week or so. The reason I haven't been around a lot is because I have been 100% homeless. We get keys to our new house sometime Monday afternoon, but we sold our old house last week. So I've been living at my friend's house for a while, and it's been really difficult kind of arranging things like doing a live video. So here we are. Let's get started. First up is I found a copy of The Normals, and I'm really ticked. They had like 4 copies of this. I haven't read it before, but this was optioned for a series with Fox 21. Believe they're making it into a series. So I'm going to go back and get the rest of them. I only picked up 2. Haven't read it yet. Really excited to read that though. Hey, somebody's here. Welcome. I picked up another copy of Crosswind. I've already got one of these, and I've got, I think, the foil variant. This is also optioned with some company for a possible series. Just because something's optioned doesn't mean it's turning into anything, but I thought that was kind of cool. So I don't know anything about the Normals. Crosswind is a kind of like this person's brain goes in that person's body, this person's brain goes into that person's body. But this person is a mob assassin, and his brain went into this kind of meek housewife's body, and her brain went into the assassin's body. So you definitely had some cool stuff going on there. Hey, if you're in the chat, say something. There's Miss Hustle. How you doing, Miss Hustle? Got here right at the beginning, so you haven't missed much. To recap, I'm homeless, though this is a nice house to live in if you're homeless. It's my friend's place I'm staying at, and move into my new house on Monday. My kids are watching X-Men on the TV in front of me, and I went to a quarter sale at a comic book shop. So everything I showed so far is a quarter. Really psyched to get this. It's kind of a little messed up. It's just dirty on the spine, but Shaolin Cowboy #1. Yeah, Miss Hustle, I probably will. It depends what time we do dinner and stuff. But if I'm free, I will definitely go to the auction because I definitely like Legends auctions. I want to participate in one probably the next month or so after I move in. Yeah, this was a guy, he owns a shop near us, and the shop is right next to the food truck festival. So we went down the food truck festival. I told my wife I just want to go over to the comic book shop, and so she said okay. He must have bought a massive collection, and he took out what looked like all the good stuff, but there's still plenty of good stuff there, and he had about 25 long boxes out, and everything was a quarter. So Shaolin Cowboy #1 for a quarter. Love that. I've got the newer series of this. I don't have this one, so that's really cool. I've got issue 1, 2, and 3 of this, and I really like the series, so I'm really excited now to have 4, 5, 6, and 7. So New Superman is a really great comic. If you haven't read it, I suggest picking up in trade or something. Gene Luen Yang is a great writer, and it's just a really great series. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, so I picked up 4 copies of this, and I just did it specifically because Greg Rucka is going to be at Rose City Comic Con, and I thought it'd be cool to hand out some of his work online because that doesn't work, buddy. You got to go up to the speaker and hit the volume thing behind it. You'll see the volume symbol and right behind it. Don't make it too loud. I don't want to compete with you, okay? So anyway, I got a whole bunch of Shattered Empire #1s. Like I said, just to hand out online. Last time I saw Greg Rucka at Rose City Comic Con, he handed out, somebody online handed me one of his novels, his Star Wars novels, and just said, hey, here's an extra copy, get it signed. So I thought that was super cool. So I thought I'd return the favor and do that. Let's see. Moving on, we got some nice JSA. Trying to collect this whole run. I've got like the first 20, and then I've got odd ones all over the place. This is 66. 86, these later ones in the 80s are not Jeff Johns, but that's okay. And 87. Boom. Again, everything here is a quarter. Skyborn, I've been trying to finish the series. It wasn't very good, but I hate having bits and pieces of a series, so I think I've got like 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. I got this Red Sonja that Amy Chu worked on. I picked that up specifically because Amy's going to be at Rose City Comic Con again, and I've got one of her Kiss comics, but I thought it'd be cool to have this. Yeah, that's not JLA, that's JSA, Miss Hustle. That's Justice Society of America. It's like a post-World War II super group that kind of does like super groupy stuff, but they're definitely play up on the fact that they're an older group and stuff. So it's a little bit different dynamic than JLA. Jeff Johns worked on both of them, did a run in the early 2000s that are great, but that JSA is one that I'm trying to finish because I really like it. And Alex Ross did the early covers, which makes it pretty cool. All right, somebody else is in here with us. Oh, they left already. It's easy, and on some of them, I mean, it's easy to get mixed up. And some of them it says Justice Society of America, and some just say JSA. What you gonna do? Ryan Brown, God Hates Astronauts. I think this is my second #1, but this is a great comic. I'm waiting. Actually, he did a hardcover Kickstarter with a whole new story arc in this series, and I'm waiting for that to arrive. Should be coming in the mail any day now. I actually had it delivered to my new house, so when I move in there Monday, I hope that arrives. We'll see. Knock wood. Quantantine Dergo. I don't know much about this, but it's a #1, and I like Magdalene Visaggio. I think she's a great writer. I love her Kim and Kim stuff. I've wanted to get that for a while, so I'm psyched to have it. This one has a bit of a spine roll and kind of dirty, but it's Checkmate #1, and again, it's Greg Rucka, so I can get him to sign that at Rose City Comic Con. Really excited for that. Reborn, this was like huge when it came out. It was one of those ones that shot up and then shot down. So I don't think I ever finished the series. I've got like 1 through 4. So here is issue #6. Excited to have that. Revival, I'm closing in on finishing this series. This is issue 46. Really great horror issue. And I think at one point Revival was optioned, right? So when we say optioned, it just means some studio paid for the rights to a show. It doesn't mean that they're actually developing it. So you really got to be careful of that. Like, Lock and Key was optioned by Fox for a movie for a while, and then they finally sold the rights. Then they were going to develop a TV show. Then they decided not to. Then they sold it to Netflix. Hey, HME3, how you doing, buddy? What does the HME stand for? I'm interested in knowing. Yeah, Revival is really cool. It's about this place where all the old people, what is it? Either all the old people start dying or they start committing murders. It's definitely like a horror thriller sort of thing, but some really great just really great artwork going on. Some really cool spooky stuff happening. I read it a while ago. I'm trying to get back into it to read the whole thing when I get all of them. But anyway, like I was saying, using Lock and Key as an example, after Fox sold it, Netflix had it, right? And then, Hulu had it. Hulu developed it. They did 7. They actually filmed 7 episodes. They had 10 scripts. And then a new manager came in at Hulu and he passed on it. So then Netflix bought it. Now it looks like it will actually be put out by Netflix. But when you buy a comic just because it's optioned for a show or a movie, it doesn't mean it will ever actually, it's Image. It's an Image comic, Miss Hustle. It doesn't mean it will ever actually get made into into a movie or a TV show. So a lot of this is speculation, but for quarter, I'll speculate. Let's see, HME3, the first letter of my first name, M is my cousin's, E is my youngest cousin, and 3 for 3 people. Very cool. glad to hear it. So here's another revival. That's 47. I got like 1 through 20, and then odd ones after that. Jade Street Protection Services. This was a Black Mass comic by Katie Rex. I really, really liked. There was these 5 girls, and they were like in a sort of magic school. And I think this girl, this youngest one here, she was autistic, and there's a really great representation of autism in a comic book. And then, like, somewhere in issue 2 or 3, everything switched, and I wasn't really sure what the heck the story was about anymore. It kind of went downhill from there. You doing okay, buddy? Not too loud? Sorry. That one doesn't work. You got to go up there and do it. I've been collecting all these shiny covers from the early Valiant ones. So here is Geomancer #1. I know absolutely nothing about this, but for a quarter, I pick up a #1 Valiant with a shiny cover. I thought that was pretty cool. Same thing with Hardcore #1. This is not worth a thing, but I've got all the other #1s, Eternal Warrior and Bloodshot and Ninjak. Thought I'd get this one. This next one, though, Harbinger. This was Harbinger 41. Hey, Count Von Strange, how you doing? Just recounting a quarter sale that I went to at a local comic book shop. They had like 20 long boxes. Everything was a quarter. This one is just the last one in the first run of Harbinger, and it is a low print run, so it's a little bit hard to find. Key Collector Comics app has it listed at like $7, but I doubt I'm going to find anybody to pay $7 for it. So there you go. That's pretty cool. Another old series that I'm trying to finish collecting is Sweet Tooth by Jeff Lemire. This is why I'm just weird, and maybe some of you guys are like this, right? I don't think I've read any issues of Sweet Tooth. I got this because the covers look cool and because people told me it was good, and Jeff Lemire is an excellent writer. But this is a series where I haven't even read like 2 issues. Like Revival, I've read like 3 or 4 of them. And then I stopped until I collected the whole series. Sweet Tooth, I haven't read any. So Count Von Strange, if there's any numbers you want, let me know, because there was definitely from the like first 1992 or 93 run, there were 3 or 4, like 30 or 40 comics from that run. So if there's something that you need from that run, let me know. What's that? The sound's broken on the remote or on the TV? All right, well, I'll try to be quiet. Talking to my son. So this was based on the TV show that came out in like the 80s or 90s, but it's written by Wendy Pini and drawn by Wendy Pini from ElfQuest fame, and that was one of my original favorite comics. So I'll get anything by the Pinis. I used to have this a long time ago, and when I sold my first run of comics, I sold this. So a little upset to have lost that. So HME3, and for anybody watching this, he says he's out of video ideas, doesn't have many books to show off for a haul, and doesn't have enough money to buy more books. You can do a few things. You can talk to like All About Comics. He does comics and cold ones with, sorry, I'm just seeing if there's a refrigerator in my new house. Okay, because it wasn't in the picture they showed us. Took a text from my realtor. They like to have people on. Comic Core has a lot of guests on. If you went through like your whole collection, one of the things that, I don't claim to know everything about comics. I don't think any of us know everything. I know a lot about G. Willow Wilson's Miss Marvel. So someday when I get into my new house, I'm going to take all my Miss Marvel and do just a thing on that. I already did a video on first appearances of Kamala Khan, because there's kind of like 4 first appearances. So, if you're talking HME3 about something you love, something that you're passionate about, I think people will respond and want to watch. If it's something you're into, definitely talk about it. If you've got some friends, do a live show with them, talk about a topic, right? What videos or movies are you looking forward to? What TV shows are you looking forward to this season? If you have an artist that's your favorite artist over 3 different series, you could do that, like Count Von Strange is saying. And a great way to keep going is just to do contests. people have the contests. You can just post content to enter some of the contests. Most people are super flexible with their contests, even if you don't have an exact comic to fit their contest. It's kind of really nice to they'll probably let you get away with whatever you have. So, I can take from your voice, HMA3, that you're pretty young. So I think it's awesome that you're already joining this community. And, we want a lot of fresh blood in there, fresh ideas. I know for my own sons who are 8 and 11, they think differently about this than I do. My son knows more about X-Men than I do from YouTube videos, and I consider myself Chris Claremont X-Men expert, but he knows way more than I do just by watching stuff. So if you look at Matilda Gothica, she does my thoughts on a comic. She does individual videos about each comic she buys. Apparently, where she lives in Israel, there's not a large comic market, and she doesn't get her hands on a lot. So, get your stuff out there any way you can. And so Miss Tussle, we'd love to see videos from you. You're always in the chats. You're joining our live shows. You're always around saying cool stuff. But I'd love to see a video from you, even if you don't have a large collection. Just what you're starting would be great. Hey, Comic Bags, how you doing? Looking through the chat here. So, tag video, 5 favorite first appearances. Absolutely. Everybody, and Comic Book Ben. Nice. We got 5 people watching. All right. Keep chatting, guys, but I'm going to keep going. This was the last one from the quarter sale. I think I've got issue 1 and 2 of this, but I thought this is pretty cool. Alan Moore is on it. David Mack, I can get him to sign it at Rose City Comic Con. I can't read names upside down. Cy Spurrier, Matt Rosenberg, a bunch of cool guys. Matt Bors is going to be at Rose City Comic Con, so I could get a whole bunch of people to sign this. All right, so that was the 25-cent sale. I'm going to go back tomorrow, see if I can get more of these, since I double checked and this definitely is optioned for 25 cents. I'll buy a bunch of those and give them away for all I care. Baseball, who you watching, Ben? Who's playing? That would be really cool. I know the Mariners are playing today here in Tacoma and Seattle. The Giants, San Francisco. Okay. Like I was saying earlier, the Sounders won. Seattle Sounders won today, 6 in a row. And who else won? And Chelsea won this morning. I'm a big English Premier League fan, big Chelsea fan. So shout out to Chelsea. Go Seahawks. They're huge around here. I'm not much of an American football fan, but I get into the hype and the vibe sometimes. Definitely. So you a video to show your talk to Reggie, play harmonica. It was a deal on his stream. Okay. Hey, whatever you do, play harmonica. It'd be very cool. The other cool thing I got at that haul is these, and I can either wipe these out or try to use some alcohol. I don't have any of these dividers, so he was like, "Yeah, these are not mine. These are from the collection. Take them." So I grabbed 2 of them, and then there were 6 in the next box, and I was gonna go switch it and take 2 and let this other guy take 2. He grabbed all 6. I was like, "Oh, come on!" So then I went running up and down the aisles, seeing where I could get more. So I ended up with 4 of these, which is pretty cool. Comic Bags. I went to Emerald City Comic Con last year and the year before, and the year before that, or 2 years before that. I think I'm going to skip this year. It's expensive and it's tiring. I'm going to Rose City. I'll probably go to, it's called Jet City Comic Con here in Tacoma. And then I might go to Vancouver Comic Con in Vancouver, Washington, not Vancouver, Canada. It gets confusing, I know, because Gail Simone goes to that. That's a local one to her. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. Unless after I paid for my tickets to Emerald City, I found out I could have gotten a free educator pass to Emerald City, and I actually applied and got it for all 4 days. If I can get that again, I'll do it. But I might just take a skip in Emerald City because it takes, Nathaniel, don't do that, please. It takes a lot. I'm almost done, buddy. It takes a lot to prepare for Emerald City, to get there, to park, to pay, to stand in lines. It's difficult. All right. So the rest of this is Half Price Book. And hey, Funk Off. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you around in a while. If you'll notice, there's some saran wrap up here. This is covering where I peeled off price stickers. These are all 25¢, not from the 25¢ sale today. These are 25¢ comics from Half Price Books. So this is the first appearance of three guys. I can't remember who. It's the first appearance of Pitt and Max or something. I'm not even sure, to be totally honest with you. Three first appearances in this. So 25¢, peeled off a price sticker. There's still some gunk there. I find that if you put wax paper over the gunk, it doesn't stick a lot. Woodard, how you doing? Maybe Seawood, you probably know this. Who are the three first appearances in Darker Image #1? I know there's three first appearances in this. I can't remember who they are. I think it's Pitt and Max and somebody else. All right, so I got that. I got a second one. As I was saying, you can see I put some saran wrap here. It's covering the stickiness of the gunk when I peeled off the price stickers. I find wax paper is really good. It doesn't stick at all. This may or may not peel, but if I just put the comics together, they'll definitely peel. Well, let's see what happens there, actually. Yeah, so you can still see the residue, but it didn't rip at all. Can you? Yeah, you can see a little bit of sticky shininess there. So now I got to put that piece back. That's saran wrap all wrapped up. Anybody have any tricks on how to get gunk off their comics when they pull the stickers off? I'd love to know. Actually, that's a pretty clean one. The other one wasn't so bad. So there were two Darker Images. Can you turn it down now a bit, buddy? Because now you're overpowering me. Oh, right next to the high switch, there's a low switch to the left. Astro City #1. This is the second series that he did. The first series is called Kurt Busiek's Astro City. Then this one's called Astro City. There's #1. There's #2. I've got about half of the 50 issues, and he's one of those guys that's now going to graphic novels only. Just like if you read Lazarus by Greg Rucka, he's going to trade paperbacks only or graphic novels only for the releases from now on. It just became too expensive to put out monthly comics or too time consuming. I'm not sure why they're doing it. One of the two. Continuing my theme here, we got Bloodshot #0 going for the shiny. Hey, Bloodshot. You've got Ninjok #1, which is a wraparound title. So the best way to show that is to, there you go, to buy two of them, and they're $0.25 each. Pretty cool. Ninjok #1. Not worth anything except the fact that it looks really cool with that wraparound title. Bloodshot #1. And I found some old Action Comics. 845 is the first appearance of General Zod and a few others as they appear in the Superman movie. And I think they mean the current Superman movies. And then 840's, first of all, that's a totally sick cover. I love that cover. 846 is the first reveal that Christopher Kent is the son of General Zod and somebody else. But you know what? It's too hard to follow. Oh, hold on a second, guys. See if that's... I love that it does this, right? Scam, likely. I'm not going to answer. They can leave a voicemail if it's important. It's a really cool feature. They tell you that it's probably a scam. Here's another one I don't know anything about, except it's Busiek and Ross again, just like they did on Marvel's and the Astro City covers. So they did a Kirby Genesis. I guess this is taking some of the Kirby characters and doing something with them. I thought these are really cool covers. There's 0. There's not many people. 1. 2. 3 and 4. All right, so those were all a quarter each as well. Some of them have been 50 cents, but those are all half price book. Cheapsies. That is the Galaxy 9. I broke my last phone, so I got got a good one. So speaking of my original beginning of this live thing, I was talking about moving in. We just bought a bed. My bed costs like Wolverine 181 1.0 money or 2.0 money. So
181.
So Hulk 181. What did I say?
Wolverine.
Oh, sorry. Hulk 181 for what I spent on a bed. Yeah, I need a bed, and my wife would be mad if I bought a comic for that much, but she wanted the bed. So, yeah, we make sacrifices, right? HM83's back. Welcome back, man. I think I've got, this is by Bendis and Mark Bagley, and I've got a Scotty Young variant where Bendis is doing a microphone drop, and to me that's like symbolic of him leaving Marvel. So I'm super excited to get that, but I think this is another variant to that. Let's see. This is, I guess there are at least 5 variants, right? Issue 1, 5th variant, first printing. You all watched Chu's video where he did that, right? Issue number 001, and then 5th variant, first printing. That's how to read those barcodes. So I thought that was pretty cool. Have another variant of that. I wasn't sure what this was. This is Civil War by Charles Soule. Can you turn it again, down again, buddy? I know it's up and down, up and down. But this was, whose side are you on? This came out just before Civil War II, like in 2014, not way back when the original Civil War came out. So I thought I'd buy it and look it up and see what it was. It's apparently Nothing comic that I spent like $2 on. I got this just because I saw it for a couple bucks. I thought I'd give that a try. Somebody said that these were doing something, the Midnight Suns. I don't know much about it. This, dude, you got to turn it down.
That sound works.
No, the remote doesn't work. You got to go up to the machine.
Well, then it doesn't work either.
Yeah, it does. Behind the button, behind the speaker. There you go. Any of you got kids? They're great. They really try to help you out. But sometimes it's tough when you're all in the same room. Edge of Spider-Verse number 5. This one is picking up a little bit of steam just because of the way it looks. It's also Gerard Way's first work for Marvel. So I've always liked that cover. I've got a couple issues of number 2, the 3rd printing. I really want the 1st printing, but I thought it's cool to pick that up. The same store that had the quarter sale had a whole bunch of books in dollar bin. And if I show you this and told you I got it for $1, you'll be like, ooh. And if I move my hand and you see that, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's a $1 book. So that's a $1 book. But this is the one I was really excited. And this one I paid for. This was not like a cheap find. This was about $25, I think. And it's going for a little bit more than that. But this is Eternal Warrior number 4. First appearance of Bloodshot. So that was really cool to add to my little Valiant collection that I'm starting now. I got myself a little X-Men and Micronauts. Number 3, I've got number 1. X-Men 117, Origin of Professor X. And he tells a story about how he first met Aurora Monroe, Storm. Yeah, I think it is a good deal for the first Bloodshot. He was kind of surprised when he saw that he had it. I think he didn't realize that he still had that in his bins, and if he'd known, he would have priced it. But he's a cool guy. That is Comics the Gathering in Spanaway, Washington. He doesn't try to cheat you out. He's a really cool guy. This is a pretty dirty copy, but it's adding to my run. You know, for trying to get every single Claremont. I probably have about 20 or 30 left, and that's one of the ones I needed. This was a find, though. Picked this up for $1. This is the first Kate Kane, not the first Kate Kane as Batwoman, but the first Kate Kane. At $1, I feel like I overpaid for this one, considering I found them for a quarter each. So let's see. Grab this one, $2 at half price, and it's just the first Duke Thomas as the Signal or as something or other. I'm not even sure. Yeah, that first Kate Kane is kind of picking up a little steam, and it's actually a good story, and it's written by Greg Rucka. So another thing for him to sign at Rose City. This is a variant to Justice League. The only reason I got this one is because the variant cover is done by Yannick Paquette, who's going to be at Rose City Comic Con. I like getting things signed. By the way, I'm printing out my own certificate of inauthenticity, and on it is going to say, I don't give up if this is authenticated or not. This book is signed because I like meeting creators and not to resell it for value. So F you if you care. It's inauthentic. I'm going to get the creators to sign that. Something like that. Found this one for a quarter, and I have no idea what this is. I think it says Hyde 25. It's from Harris Comics, number 0. And it says it's the first color appearance of Vampirella. Okay. And then I got this one. This is pure 90s crap, but Gene Pool, God Runner, co-starring Spirits of Vengeance. The reason I got this is because it comes with 4 Gene cards. Anybody knows anything about this? Tell me. This is like Marvel 1993. It's bagged, so it's still in a bag, right? And there's the Gene cards on the back. I just thought I'd get that. At some point they were offering extra cards with their comics because they couldn't sell them. One of my local comic book shops, Destiny City in Tacoma, got a big haul, and they got this in there. I thought that was pretty cool. The Gene cards, I know nothing about either. Only because, like I've told you before, back in the early 80s, she was my first crush. So I'll pick up stuff with Kitty Pryde in all day. This was the end to the Executioner song storyline that crossed like 1,000 books. But it's just one I didn't have between 94 and 300. Claremont ended in 279, but I found so many post 279 comics that I'm trying to go from 94 to 300 now. When I finish that, I'll probably go from 301 to 400. We'll see. If anybody wants these, I'll go pick them up at half price and send them to you. They're 50 cents each. They had 0 through like 20. None of the really famous Adam Hughes covers that are later on. But if anybody collects Tomb Raider, let me know. I just got this one because it was the first one, and somebody got me a variant the other day of one of them, so I thought I'd put the two together. First, Ilyana Rasputin as Magic. This one I paid for $15, I think, or $10. I can't remember. He also had I think it's issue 26, the First Legion, which is a sick Bill Sienkiewicz cover, but he was charging a bit more for that, and I was getting short on money, so I cut it out. Holy cow. I'm up to new comics. This is one of the variants to Pearl. It's David Mack variant, I believe, and or is it Alex Maleev? It's Alex Maleev. So Michael Bendis is the writer, Michael Gaydos is the artist, and Alex Maleev on the cover. And all 3 will be at Rose City. This is a great first issue. Bendis, when he does dialogue between people talking, it sometimes falls flat. When he does dialogue as exposition, it's really good. And this is short on the conversations between people, but great dialogue for exposition. Really interesting story. Writes this character super well. Like in one issue, you really get to know her, and it's just really well done. So I was really excited to get this. I highly recommend it if you want a new series to start. This is, I dropped the comic. HME3, I think Magic is super underrated. I think she'll appear somewhere and really take off. Absolutely. In New Mutants, possibly, if they ever finish that movie. This is the blank sketch cover to Pearl. I'm going to see if I can get them all to remarket. Bendis and Gatos. That would be really cool. And then finally, I did decrease its grade, except it hit my sprained ankle, so it also hurt a lot. I don't know. HME3, I'm just going to assume that you're over 18 as I take this out. There's a color variant to this that I did not get, but I saw this black and white one. I thought it was pretty cool. This is variant to Magic Order number 3, a great comic, and a sort of sickly little latex orgy. Not sure what's going on there. Cover. So to each their own. Just there you go. So that is it. It's a heck of a lot of books. Considering I don't have a house right now, but I'll be moving in all next week, and I will be getting a comic book room set up. I cannot wait to get my comic book room set up. It's the guest room, but we don't have any guests staying for a while, so that will be really cool to get that going when I get that going. Does anybody else have anything they want to chat about, or yeah? Well, we'll just assume for the sake of that one thing, HME3. Anybody else got anything to bring up? I know that Legend has an auction tonight, so jump on that if you can. If you want to get some comics on the cheap, always some good stuff there. Ben, yeah, it's I think the cover is just racy, maybe for racy's sake, but definitely catches your eye, and I can't get, there we go. Definitely catches your eye and makes you think. It's more suggestive than it is inappropriate. There's nothing on there. So way back in the day, and I'm talking like 1982, Centerfold and Freeze Frame by Jay Giles Band were like huge songs. And my grandma gave me like $10 to go buy stuff. And I went down to, this is when my local drugstore, my local pharmacy actually sold records and tapes. I wanted to get the Jay Giles Band album that had Freeze Frame and Centerfold on. And I brought it back. And one of the songs was called Piss on the Wall. I remember my grandmother being like, "You just wanted it to get that dirty song." And I'm like, "No, I just wanted to get the hit songs that everybody in 6th grade is singing." But she refused to believe it. So yeah, parents will always try to protect their kids. So man, I got a total of like 9 viewers at one point, which is I think a high point for me on a solo live show that had 20 minutes of preparation. So thanks a lot for being here, guys. It's great to get comments from everybody, and have you all tell me what's going on with my comics. Like I said, if Von Strange, if you're still there, if you want any Archers, tell me which numbers. I'll see if I can find them. I'm going to go back to that sale tomorrow because he's got 5 new long boxes to come out. And otherwise, man, it was just great talking to you all. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. And if you're going to be on, the Legend tonight, I'll see you there. All right. Take care.